Hi, everybody. We're live today, and I'm super excited to have a guest with me. And we are podcasting in a super cool place that we'll tell you about a little bit later. I am Sherry St. Marie, and I'm with eXp Realty. I have worked for 20 some years in real estate, which we'll talk a little bit more about, and also global business now. But I also want to introduce who I am with today. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Sherry, for having me today.
Of course.
My name is Amina Mukhtari, and I'm with Currencies Direct. I do international money transfer and currency exchange, and we are in the global committee together with Sherry.
Yes, and so she and I met before last year, actually. We were both interested in global real estate, and she was already on the committee for Naples Board of Realtors and is also on the committee at BEAR, so Bonita Springs Realtors
Yes.
Association. And I've joined this year. So she and I are doing this on our own, but that is another hat that we wear that we both very much enjoy. And I think the part I want to make sure that I share with everybody is I really was impressed with you when I first met you. So she has great energy. A lot of people know I have decent energy. And we just
you.
had a nice connection and then started talking about some of our interests in global, which we'll get into a little bit, but also her experiences, which are very vast compared to myself, actually, and several different languages and things. So we'll get into some of those pieces. But I'm going to move us along in the live and be the kind of teachery piece of this. We're going to move into this piece about, oh gosh, I don't know. It's not going to move for me here. We're going to move into this piece about the importance of the global real estate market, both for business, for money moving back and forth. So some people are very used to that, incredibly educated, skilled, have traveled, grew up as kids going all kinds of places, and others of us have not as much. So I've got
Maybe.
a few places. I should go more. But you are one who grew up in the realm of being very comfortable, traveling internationally, different cultures and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So, what I do and what I grow up with, I think the cultural side and the ability to speak different languages and understand the culture of other countries, it adds a lot to what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
And it's very helpful because if you are talking to European buyers or sellers, or for example in Middle East or other part of the globe, you can understand how to talk to that, how the respect goes, the trust, and all that things. Yeah.
So what's neat is that she and I both are based out of Naples. So we're in Southwest Florida. We can work around the world, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that, but we are working from Naples, Florida. What's neat for me is that I get to learn a lot of things from you as well, right? But then we're both serving clients and customers here in this area to make sure they feel comfortable. And a lot of these pieces help us get better understanding, a little bit better knowledge of something that maybe was either fun, exciting, frustrating to us or something like that. And those things end up being good for everybody. She is local, I am local. So we are ones who we are living here. She is raising her family. My family is raised, but they come to visit, right? We are adding into our community as all the people that we are helping with, whether they are somebody who's coming full-time, somebody coming seasonally, somebody coming as they enjoy, or even somebody coming for vacations and needing either money exchange or money exchanged for down payments on homes and things like that, which we'll talk about. So for us, we are very much wanting to be the people that are in this community, tied locally for you, educated around the world and able to help. And then she and I also have resources between each other and a lot of other people in case we don't know enough for the right thing for you. So I really appreciate that, and that you and I are really committed here and committed to help people around the world and here, which I think is great.
Definitely. Yes.
So we're going to move on to the piece we did talk about a little bit before. So we are going to mention this to you just so that you know. So a lot of things you and I do are all kinds of different events to promote global business, global transactions in the area, also different education pieces. And you are also with BEAR. So can you tell us about that? So I'm very familiar with the Naples Area Board of Realtors, but you are also with the Bonita So
Yes.
can you tell us about them?
Sure. And also part of the Asian Real Estate Association of Miami. So I'm part of a lot of committees, the WCR as well, the Women Council of Realtors.
Mhm.
And I think with this diversity, we can bring communities together because we are local and they see us all the time, they work with us, and we have a lot of business with like the local community as well as the global communities. For example, like the Canadians, the
Mhm.
Europeans, the Middle Easterns, they do a lot of they we have a lot of sellers and buyers from those countries, even Japanese or and I think we can put together a very good event. Yes,
Yes, absolutely. And also, you're doing it as well to meet more people, to be able to help more people. That's why you
exactly.
and I do all these activities that we do.
Yes, definitely.
So, what we're interested in to share with you is why she or myself, because we have different reasons, became interested in global business or global real estate, because we do both. So, do you
Yes.
want to tell us about what got you interested in global to start with?
Sure. So the first thing, the languages that I speak and the ability to understand different cultures, that's one. And I'm local, focus on our local community growth. So when there is like people moving here, we can help them much better, and we can connect them to different expert in the, so whatever they need as an expert, we can help them with that.
And
Yeah.
for myself, I mean, I'm just going to tell you a funny story. I mean, my international started my interest back when I was in junior high. It was 107 years ago. And we had a foreign exchange student that came from Norway. And we couldn't call her this in this day and age because it's not appropriate, but she could hit that volleyball like nobody's business. And so we used to call her the Norwegian bomb. Don't repeat that because you can't say that word anymore. But she was just, I mean, boom, right? And down came the ball. And it was her name was Ingrid, and I just loved her. She was just interesting and something very different than my Wisconsin upbringing, right? And then as I moved along in high school, we had a few more foreign exchange students. I was going to go to an exchange in college and then backed out, which I shouldn't have done. My one regret in college. Moving on, my children have enjoyed lots of different international students and friends. I now have an international business partner that I met in Southwest Florida. So a lot of Florida really changed my addition to international in my everyday life, because we do have a high population already. A lot of people don't realize we already are international. This doesn't have anything to do with I don't want them in my backyard, or I don't want, we are globally dependent already. And a huge piece of mine and some of the work I'm doing now, both in real estate and business, is about how do we step up and be a way bigger, better leader in the global stage and locally, so that we show how to get along and how to do it stellar instead of doing this. So I'm not interested in down here. I'm interested in let's go up here and do the cool, good, right things. Really professional business women working together and collaborating for a lot of good things. All that kind of stuff interests and excites me. And there's so many possibilities of different things that we can do.
Definitely, definitely. I want to add to
Yes.
what you just said. You have a huge experience and you are very professional. Everyone know you here in the area. So I think it's not about competition or
Mm-mm.
competing with each other or whatever it is. It's more about people being professional and trying to connect with others and giving value to them, because
Absolutely.
what we are trying to do here, it's bringing value and helping others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that, that's the reason she and I connect, right? Any of the people you see me around or see me bring on or have me introduce, they're going to be people that they're not going to be the same style. I have all different people, but they're going to be, the commonality is they're good humans. They care about what we're really doing as a
Exactly.
professional. They're not interested in profit first. I can guarantee you that. They're interested in serving first. They're interested in doing a really good job. We're going to back up to one really important topic I should have talked about sooner, but we'll back up to that. But those are the reasons that we tend to connect together or would like to work on a project with somebody or buy a home with somebody or build a home. And those are the pieces that really matter. And a lot of people demonstrate it. It's not what you say out of your mouth, I think.
Exactly. So are you going to talk about the trust piece?
Yes, she knew I was
Yes.
going to go. I'm going to come back to what's on the screen, but the piece that really she and I very much resonate on, and I'll find the slide while you're doing your part of the talk, is that trust is number one globally for everyone. So I am not sitting here, and I happen to be an American. I am not sitting here as an American saying, oh, trust is number one. Everybody in the entire world, no matter what country you're coming from, or if we're coming to your country to do business, trust is number one in terms of what we need. So do you want to talk about that while I find the slide?
Sure. So, yeah, the trust is definitely number one. Wherever you go, you need to feel safe and trusting the person in the front of you. If you are like sitting with someone and you are feeling nervous, like, am I going to do business with this person? I don't really know them. But sometimes you give it a try and you see if they are like professionals first and they are doing all the steps correctly and reaching out to you, and you can feel it. That's number one. And the second thing, you can see it in the level of how professional they are, I think.
I think the trust piece is certainly all of that, but it is also, we all hear and see so many things that we're not sure, are they real or not real?
Yes.
So unfortunately, there are pieces that are neat in our advancing world. Like, you are very technical, much more than myself. AI is great, but you can also do some amazing things with AI to pretend you're somebody you're not, right?
Oh, yes.
So the trust piece for people is, I want to know the professional that I'm actually dealing with. Are they really the way you said they would or should be? You, of course, are going to do your due diligence, but more than these worry details, the number one trust part is about just respecting. We all need that in the world as human beings. We're all interested in that. That's our concern. And so we demonstrate it.
Yes,
Right?
definitely. Yep.
I'm going to move us back up to she and I being here locally in Southwest Florida, because of course we both really enjoy this area. It's great weather. It's a good lifestyle. You're raising kids here.
And it's called the paradise.
It's called the paradise. Yeah. So
it's called the paradise.
yes, we do call it that. And so we certainly enjoy it here. I didn't even realize myself, like I said, we have up to 29% international here. We get a incredibly high number from Canada.
Yes.
And so a lot of people don't realize that. But it has been international for most of its existence.
Yes.
And so it has a big reputation. And then the part that's fun for she and I as well, we can sit right here. We can broadcast out to you all over the world and everywhere to say hello and help you learn something. But also, there's tons of business that happens just even flying in here to do a meeting about something, or family that gets brought in and things like that. All of these pieces have created quite a reputation here for both lifestyle, living, education, and whatever people around the world have as an interest in a quality of life.
100%.
Yes. As well as we do respect and understand, there are other people who are choosing to leave, right? Southwest Florida or the United States or whatever. We respect that. I work as a realtor, right? And there are people that do need to move around the world at all times. And these are the pieces then that we need to be able to have the resources. And we'll get into that about being able to exchange currency, be able to exchange currency to do down payments on homes, and depending on what it is like in that country. And these are the pieces that are good and important, but it's pretty fun. We can either help you come here and live, or we can help you do business from here or fly in here, because we're quite the tourism. So those pieces are pretty fun. So this is where a lot has been moving. So you and I know, and we've been watching it, that global real estate and global business has been popular.
Yes.
But right now it is massively popular in that people are both investing, living, moving multiple places around the world. And the other thing that's a big trend that's happening is pulling more global business where teams are investing or doing things together. So it's not just one country. As an example, we have a couple projects we're looking at that it is a European bank and an American bank because they want to do this together. I'm huge on let's learn to play well in the sandbox. Let's show people we can do well for humanity. But also commercial real estate is moving into this realm. So you and I know from the customers and clients that call in a day, they're interested in either needing money for projects or things or moving their money in different areas that are trending at different times. And it's
Mhm.
become more popular for not just the big wealthy people. It's become also popular for people that are maybe an average type of person wanting to invest or try a different lifestyle. And I think this has really become popular in 2024.
Yes, it is. It's a high trend right now because there is the possibility to find those banks here that they can help those international investors to invest here. I mean, Southwest Florida, where we live, or Florida. Um, as a whole, Florida is a very beautiful state, and everyone want to come here, enjoy the sunshine, and enjoy the business as well because it's growing massively. So there is organizations just for that, specifically to help the investors to come here. They can give them the lenders or a mortgage, depend on what they want to do, commercial or residential.
Yes. So now we're going to move into a big piece of why people are listening, why you should be listening. So whether you're interested in real estate or you have to make a payment for something in another country, you should pay attention, and it's free on the internet, right? For you to listen to us right now. Free education, because this is what's happening. We are getting into a spot where it's just important to be able to do at certain points. So what we're going to talk about now is international currency exchange and payments, and why we want to talk about it in a new way for you to understand is I think a lot of people that are more like myself who've not traveled all over the place may not realize. And then people who certainly do or have, they have a greater need for currency exchange and different options to be able to exchange currency, because it used to just be the banks, right?
Yes. It used to be the banks. When you say travel, no travel, you have a huge experience in the commercial real estate, which that's a very competitive skill that you have, and you have a lot of experience in the real estate field, not just uh, the global stuff or
I do. I have over 20 years. I'm looking old now, but I have over 20 years. Yeah.
yeah. Well, people, when they want to do business, they love to have someone who have experience, and they know what they are doing, and they are professional, you know.
Mhm.
So on the currency exchange, yes, I do help international buyers and sellers of the real estate. That's my specialty, my niche, because when you are dealing with a big amount of money, you have to find someone that give you that safety and give you that peace of mind, and we 100% do that for our clients.
And so, do you want to mention the company that you're with?
Yes, I'm with Currencies Direct, and the company has been established since 1996, and we are all over the globe. We have offices like in Canada, Europe, Australia, Middle East, Japan. Yeah, and here, of course, the headquarter, and UK, Ireland, the European Union. Yeah.
So when I first started speaking to her, it was because I had started to get some of my advancing into looking at global projects and global money needing to be moving. And of course, on some of the bigger ones that we're doing, we always want the banks involved for sure. But that's how she and I started talking about. I'm obviously a residential real estate agent as well. And we do have people that are needing to either do their deposits coming in from another currency, or we'll talk about it a little bit later, sellers who are foreign sellers and needing to come back out of the US with a little bit of a withholding possibly. and what do we need to do with their money and how do they get that back. And so these services are necessary and required, and a lot of people are not as familiar, or they maybe only know one source because my aunt told me it, and I don't know that you do this and your company's been doing this a long time. So it's valuable and it's important for people, and they need these good professional options for themselves.
Yes, definitely. So, part of the services for the exchange, the international exchange, we give a great exchange rate. But the thing is, we also provide a manager. We like designate a account manager for each client, so whenever they want to talk to us, to someone, instead of doing it online, they have a person that they can talk to, and they can seek guidance or can help them. Like for example, you don't need to do the exchange this week, maybe you have to wait a little bit, you can do it the next week. So they help them even navigate the market. We can lock as well the rate for them, and it's up to 1 year.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay. That's
it's
great to know. And even just for somebody to watch the rates for you is, and that's quite a thing, quite a service.
exactly it is.
Excellent. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get myself here. These are the things that are super important to me. So as she and I again started talking in the beginning, it was wanting to respect in every country, but I of course have to, and she certainly has to, especially in the United States, because that's where we are. And so regulations and just making sure that we have absolutely nothing to do with money laundering. I don't ever want to. Don't call me. I don't want to. But I learned something about you and your licensing that I didn't know. That's fantastic about the prevention of money laundering. So can you tell us about some license that you have?
Yes, I will briefly
Yeah.
talk about it. So, I have a insurance license, and you are required to do the anti-money laundering, certification to help and prevent all kind of misunderstanding. Or so it's a huge topic.
And she so
Yes.
classily said, prevent any misunderstandings, because we don't want any misunderstandings. But this is great, so she is obviously incredibly intelligent, very professional. And on the backside, she's licensed, so we're not going to be doing anything we're not supposed to, which is fantastic. And we don't talk about it a whole lot. We just move on. So that's good. We certainly want to make sure someone has a great experience here and with us. So I don't know if you want to share anything about that, or how you go about making sure your people have a good experience with you, whether it's in Southwest Florida or you're helping them somewhere else.
Sure. So for that, I think that whatever you want for yourself, you want for others. And when you are connecting with people, it's not just for the transaction, like transactional, just for that, and that said, you won't see them. We are local, and you have a reputation to work for, and the people know you. They know where you live. They know where, for example, your kids go to school, and it's a trust. And dealing with a good people, it's definitely crucial. You have to deal with the people that you feel comfortable with, because you cannot, how you say, refer services that you don't refer for yourself. For example, if this is like your friend, and you deal with her, like for example, you send her client for mortgage, or this is a firm that they deal with all the withholding, and so you know them, you already worked with them, and you are 100% satisfied of the service that they are offering. So when you are referring people to them, you will be more than happy, because you add value to your service. And that's why people are professional, because they provide a good service as well. When they refer people to others, they make sure it is a good service, it's not like low quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm using my little cheat readers here for Another time. We're going to give you just two tips on our way moving towards out here, and that would be tip number one for any of you, whether you're needing international payments or exchange, you're purchasing real estate, it really is the educate yourself a little bit, right? Because you're going to be working with a number of professionals. So let's say you're making a purchase here. You're going to be working with, let's say, Amina for the exchange. You're going to be working with me as a real estate agent. We're going to have a title company. You may have a lawyer. You may have someone in your country, depending on what's your preference and situation. So we have several different people that need to be in the process. And then, of course, with each of those people, making sure that we know what needs to happen. So, as an example, you had one time with a realtor who she didn't realize because she wasn't told that the buyers were international. And then we don't have necessarily enough time to make sure we have everything taken care of. We do not ever want that situation for anybody. And certainly it wasn't your causing, it was somebody else in the transaction. We don't want that ever happening. So I think the education piece and the lead time. So you may need also to tell me, the realtor, Sherry, we need a little extra time because maybe they're choosing to not watch the market and not do something at a certain time. She may even have to tell me, we need a little heads up. We need a little longer on that part of the contract or something like that. You know?
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. First, you need to know the person in front of you, for example, the client, and what he need, and whatever the paperwork that is required. For example, if you are dealing with a foreign customers, there is more paperwork to add to that. It's not like just uh, as as short and quick as local people, like moving from just a city to another one. It's required more paperwork, more knowledge about other services that it may be involved in the
Yes.
process as well.
And that was perfect for this point, right? Of the be prepared. It is, you of course would be. So we don't mean to speak down to like you would be moving internationally and that's a big move and you're not thinking about it. But it is just that reminder of some of these things that you may not necessarily have known. But that's why we're so happy to be here for each of our specialty parts, to be able to help out with something like that for you or your family or whatever it happens to be. So
FIRPTA. Here we go.
Here we go. We pronounce it FIRPTA. We did a funny TikTok video. There's a trend going around on there of FIRPTA. It's a withholding, not a tax. So because it is called what it is, as you can see on the screen there, if you are a seller that is a foreign seller, in certain situations, you may have to have a little bit of withholding of your sales proceeds for a period of time. That doesn't mean that you're going to get charged more necessarily or anything. It just has to do with some legalities on who is your buyer. Are they going to live here full time? Those sorts of things. But that is actually a withholding. They're not taxing you that money. And the way it gets said, it makes people think, oh my gosh, you're going to tax me more because I'm a seller here in the United States and I happen to be foreign. So we chose to do a little bit of a fun, but this one's important because there's paperwork that has to be done.
Oh yes, definitely. There is more paperwork to be done for the foreign sellers. So this one it's applied only for the foreign sellers. When they are moving the
buying or selling
their home and moving the money out of the country. That is, the withhold, and we definitely help with the proceed of FIRPTA.
Yes. And so that part, you do have to have a professional doing that. And so this is why it's good to have that contact there. Don't stress a lot about it. Just ask a question about it if you happen to be in that situation. And so what we wanted to do today, I'm going to take us all the way back up to our names on here for you. What we wanted to do today was to just give you a little bit of information, hopefully not be so serious, but we needed to tell you a couple of good things. She and I have a fun, good time together as well, but we do want to get some of this good free education out there just for your awareness, for any of you who may or may not need services, that at least you know some professionals that you can call. And we appreciate you showing up live for us. And thank you so much for doing this with me too. Got us into a new studio. That was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, thank you so much for your time. And the purpose for this video is to connect with people and tell them more about the service and how can help them. and sometimes they don't have all the pieces together, and they find themselves like searching in Google, like, okay, what is the next step? And it's like all over the place. It's not like one step. And yeah, so it will be great to add value on that.
Absolutely. We
Thank you.
appreciate you if you're global. We are welcome to global. We are global. So we hope you guys have a fantastic day and appreciate you showing up for us.
Thank you.